Hi there, Steph. Thanks for popping by. So today's card is a card for a crafty friend who's celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday, Michelle. It's a Stamping Bella CakeABella image that I color with some Copic markers. I stamped the image with some Memento Tuxedo Black on some Nina Solar White cardstock. And you will see I ran out of battery at some point, so it's a two-part video. I started on one day and then I ran out of battery, and then I finished a few days later because I had started sewing in between and I just wanted to finish. But anyway, you will just see the difference. I got some nail varnish and some sleeves because it was really cold. Anyway, I've done quite a simple hair. I'm not very good at curly hair yet, so I don't have any tips to share on that one. The skin is very simple. Again, I've only started doing characters coloring for, not that long. I did the Greeting Farm's Mermaid, and that is it really, apart from the Stamping Bella. So I still need practice on that side, but the part which I thought was the most interesting on that card was the apron. And I used, I think, some V9, V6, V4, and for some reason the purple looks more blue than pink on the video, and that might just be, it's an automatic setting, so I'm not quite sure why, but it's slightly more purple, pinkish than bluish, that purple. But anyway, I just basically saturate it. I started with a medium color, I did some lighter dots, then some darker dots, and then the colorless blender, and the aim is to kind of create that bokeh effect, which I will add a bit more colorless blender afterwards, because here at that stage, I moved on to the rest of the body, and then I thought, it's still not quite, you don't get enough contrast really. I started with a C word again, sorry, contrast. And I think the outcome will be quite nice, and I mean when the card is complete as well, it looks quite nice. I've carried on with the coloring. I did a blue trousers. Sorry, I was trying to imitate a jeans texture, with the knees worn a bit, so that's why the color is lighter and so on. Here I add a bit more colorless blender, and I mean the video is better, but I really squeezed the pen against the paper so the ink comes out like a lot. And it works quite well, I think it's quite nice. But you can see there's a lot of bleeding, which I will correct afterwards when I do the background and the shading and retrace the outlines as well. Here I do the little cupcake. I try to stay simple, chocolate mint. And the one would probably be chocolate, raspberry, strawberry. Anyway, and a bit of silver on the plate, and then I do my background. So for the background, I was really inspired by a coloring. I don't know if that person is just a coloring artist, but I've seen a lot of the coloring photos, and I can't say the name because I haven't asked that person if they're okay with it, but I will tag them on Instagram. And I was really inspired by the background that person is doing, a lot of Copic background, which are blended really well, and on large area I don't find it that easy. And I don't know if you noticed, but the nib of my Copics was white because the ink wasn't flowing out fast enough for what I was doing, which is quite funny really. So you kind of need to get really juicy markers, but you also need to be really careful because it bleeds quite easily. And I suppose you could do the main image, let it dry, and then do the background so that the colors don't blend together too much and you reduce the chances of bleeding. Sorry. So then my battery ran out, so that was a few days later. I was finished with the background. I used a Sakura Micron Pigma black pigment pen, sorry, and I retraced the outline, and it makes such a difference. And that was a tip shared by Kathy during one of the coloring challenge, and since I've been doing that, I really think it really improves. The outlines tend to get faded, particularly with the Copic. Even if Memento is Copic resistant, I do feel like it kind of fades a bit, and it makes a real difference, and I think a real good visual impact to use this black pen to retrace the outline. So that's what I've done. And then I use a Sakura white gel pen to add a few accents here and there, correct a bit of my icing that had a bit of grey that bled a bit beyond the line, and then I started with the background. I went back to the background, sorry. So I did a few stars, big stars, and then tiny stars, and I'm still trying to learn from that coloring artist I was mentioning, and I really think it's quite cool. It's hard to see on the video. My lighting is still not great. I bought a lamp, but I bought the wrong bulb, so I can't quite get the lighting I want. But I will, you know, if you look at the photos at the end of the video, or head over to my blog and have a look at the photos. I think it pops really well, and it's I think it's really nice. So here I add a lot of Copic Pica, not a lot, some Copic Pica, and I do like a touch of glitter. I think it adds something to an otherwise flat card. I did consider adding some glossy accent, but I wasn't quite sure where it belongs, except maybe the icing, and I didn't want to make a mess. So I stick to the glitter, and I think the outcome is quite nice. It adds a bit of texture to the starry background, but I think it's quite cool. So I hope you find that interesting. Oh, of course I forgot, sorry, I did add a greeting. I just stamped a simple happy birthday on the top, and then I used a white gel pen to kind of create some sort of shading so it pops against the grey background. So I hope you find it interesting. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see the photos, please head over to my blog, and please don't hesitate to subscribe, leave this video a thumbs up, and come again for our next video. Have a great day. Bye.